the Gastlecast. I'm Chris.
I'm Heather.
On this episode, we're going to talk about the PX exclusive Thanos that just recently came out, and I call him Thanos on Skulls. Is that what he's called on the box?
I don't know, but that's a pretty good name, I think.
Yeah, I thought he was called Thanos on Skulls. I named him that. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm pretty sure other people have called him that.
We're going to compare him to the classic Thanos from the Marvel Collector Core box that we picked up recently for the Marvel 80 years. But first, hit that subscribe button and that little bell. That way you'll know anytime we go live or post new content like this right here. This might be one of the last Thanoses that we get for a while from Funko because we've been oversaturated with Thanos because of Infinity War and Endgame. But because Endgame came to an end and Thanos is now gone, I think they have to move on to other big villains. I have to say, if this is the last Thanos we get for a while, I am so good with that because they did an excellent job with this guy.
They did. He is very unique with a lot of different details, and he doesn't have that stupid Endgame tail on the back of his helmet.
That's true.
And I like that.
Also, they gave us an Infinity Gauntlet. He's actually snapping.
Yes.
Which I think is a great detail that they added to this guy. I love that he's in like this stance that he's standing on top of the skulls. This classic Thanos is great too. He's in a different stance.
With a different face.
A different face. He does not have the Infinity Gauntlet with the classic one here. The colors are a little bit different. The blues are different. This is more of like, I don't know, is that like more of a metallic blue?
It's just a darker blue. He just went into his closet and changed outfits.
But it's like
okay.
shinier, right?
Yeah, it's shiny.
Yeah.
This one's more matte.
Yeah, it's more matte and it's a lighter blue.
Yes.
It's almost like teal a little bit.
Sorta, yeah.
The price point on this particular PX edition of Thanos is roughly about $28. If you don't know what PX exclusives are, they're typically released in comic book shops, specialty stores, certain like smaller chain toy stores. You don't get them in Targets and Walmarts.
Yeah, except there is one larger retailer that does sell those, and that is FYE.
And you can also find them on Entertainment Earth. We did mention some of the differences. The face sculpt on this one is great. I like that he looks so angry.
Yeah.
But his eyes.
It's weird. He looks high.
He does, yeah.
And he just got to the pantry, and he's pissed off that Mom doesn't keep any Flamin' Hot Cheetos in there.
Right.
So he's snapping in hopes that she just goes away.
Good. Wow, that's a good backstory. I think personally he looks like he's possessed, but I think I like your story a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I like Possessed though too, because that's sort of horror-y.
They've made a lot of different Thanos like sculptures that have like skulls around it and stuff like that. But the skulls on those sculptures do not look like little Funko heads, which I think is so cool. I think it's a great touch. They could have just added little skulls, like a human skull, but instead they added Funko skulls. They got everything right with this guy.
He's
really amazing.
Did.
The only thing that I would have changed, and it's a minor detail, if they made this glow in the dark on his gauntlet or something, or they had him light up. This is a base, a perfect base, where you could push a button down here to make the Infinity Gauntlet light up. That would have been fantastic. There's enough plastic here to do that, or vinyl rather.
Maybe you should get your tools out and you should do that.
These two comic book Thanoses are great. I hope in the future we get more of the comic book Thanos. I do love Thanos from the films, but the comic book variations are my favorite. These two right here are my top favorite Thanos Funko Pops ever of all time, ever. If we could have gotten this guy on Skulls in 10-inch, how beautiful would that have been? That would have been such a masterpiece, in my opinion.
So if this were next to $30 price point, what do you think a 10-inch Thanos on Skulls
I don't know.
would
It's a good question. My assumption would be probably 50.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Don't like it.
I'm okay with it because this thing is pretty heavy. You're right. It isn't a 10-inch. 10-inch is obviously a lot bigger. This guy, though, I didn't really mind paying that amount of money because it does come with a cool base. And also, instead of a 10-inch, this thing can actually fit somewhere.
Yeah.
The 10 inches, it's really hard to fit them in your collection.
I'm really disappointed.
Why?
Because I was trying to make a joke and you just messed it all up.
What was the joke?
Well, you said 10 inches is really hard to fit in my collection. I was going to do a that's what she said thing.
10 inches are really hard to fit.
That's what she said.
Oh my God, Heather, you're hilarious.
Thank you.
What do you think about these two cool Thanos Funko Pops? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let us know all of that and more in the comments section down below. If you do not love this skull Thanos or Thanos on skulls, you are out of your mind.
What if somebody watches this and they really don't like this Thanos and they're really offended that you said that?
That was my Jim from The Office. Guys, remember as always, we're all together, yes! We'll catch you next time!
Bye!